Hello, 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 and welcome to season 2 of the Journey with Janey podcast. I am so privileged to be here with you guys again as I start season 2 to see us into 2026. Welcome to Journey with Janey podcast. I'm Janey Anderson, and this is the Quiet Reset. A space for reflection, release, and rediscovery. A moment to breathe and come home to yourself. So let's take a deep breath in. And release. So today marks the 5th of November. Remember, the 5th of November was a saying that I always remember as a child. And bonfire night was always, from being a child, watching my parents outside from the garden, in the garden from the window. My dad with his tin of fireworks bought at the little shop in Prudhoe. I can still remember going to that shop and choosing the fireworks, and the fireworks being put into the tins so they didn't get wet. Anyway, I digress. Those are memories that stay with us, and yeah, the 5th of November, it's a here again. And I've mentioned that the Quiet Reset is all about reflection, rest, and gentle rediscovery. So there's something ancient, and that's the only way I can sort of bring it to mind, about the way a fire moves. It's always alive. It's always transforming. It's warmth. It's danger. It's light. And it's one of the simplest ways that we can connect back to release. And as we sit here on the 5th of walk, whatever you're doing while you're listening, 5th of November was always a key village get together when I moved up here to live with Jonathan. Jonathan Moore was always in amongst the organisation of the village fireworks. And yeah, it was a night out, always the 5th of November, the bonfire and the fireworks display. And it was bringing the community together. We talked a lot about community and things in the last season. So linking all of this in, not long after Jonathan died, I was invited by a dear friend, John Young, to do a fire walk and spend a day with him. And wow, that was the most amazing experience. The power of the fire. I was just into mentorship, and I remember the power of the fire, the building of the fire. The whole experience blew my mind. And even down to the fact now, if I want to relax and switch off, I'll light a candle. And I know a candle is a very small flame. Even the crackle of a match or the click of a lighter. I remember that time that I spent doing that fire walk. And fire doesn't just consume us, it clears a space. It makes way. It teaches us that endings are not inevitable. They are essential for our growth. So In the quiet field, I often speak about our need for a sacred space. This is somewhere where you can meet your emotions honestly without any distractions. And I found that space when I was writing my two books, the Janey You Never Realise and Janey the Daydreamer. And as weird as it sounds, I found that sacred space in the bedroom, sitting in bed and just with a candle and a chill, just breathing and just being able to be on my own. Now, that could be because the house was buzzing with kids, and that felt like my sacred space. As time goes on and I am heading into, well, especially this week, I am home alone. So I'm finding that those spaces can be different places. Sacred space in the house, it can be a space outside. You'll have seen many of my videos where I've been down next to the stream, and yeah, it's whatever works for you. And lighting a candle can help, and that is the flame, the fire. Focusing on a candle. Can you focus on a candle for a period of time? Can you have focused attention on a candle without your mind wandering? This is something that we're taught, well, I have been taught to do regularly, to focus our attention. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back. Even as little as a minute or a couple of minutes a day, and build it up to being able to sit for 10 minutes and just look at that candle in pure stillness. And every time your mind drifts, bring it back. Bring it back. When we stare into the light of a fire, or we're sat in front of the fire, no telly on, no distractions, and we're just watching the flames, they dance, don't they? The flames dance. It gives us that opportunity, the total opposite to staring at the flame and having a focused attention. Gives us that opportunity when the fire's, it could be the bonfire, the crackles, and, the flames reaching high and then coming down. All of that gives us the opportunity to be within ourselves. Even if we're stood talking to somebody, we're still watching those flames and thinking about what we can release. Words that have been left unsaid, guilt that might linger. And for me, the first year, it was that love that still ached inside, that I could actually release to those flames. And these moments in grief and growth, when we reach a certain point where we can start to release, the quiet awareness that something inside us is ready to go. For me, it probably didn't feel like I was doing anything at the time, but actually looking back now, that is where I feel that the releasing started, and the understanding of how powerful it was to actually let go of things inside and not allow things that are going over and over and over in our minds. We can't change the past. We only have where we are now. Like where we are now. Where we are now. That is all we have. The past's past, and the future is whatever we decide to create in the future. So there's also the whole burning ritual. We've talked about writing letters to to ourselves, letters of forgiveness, that kind of thing. A lot of people use fire as a burning ritual when they're writing a letter of forgiveness. And it's almost making a mark on, oh, I can't think of how to describe it. It is a ritual. It's almost like that release of the flames when that paper goes up in smoke. That's the release of everything that you've written out onto the paper. And it's not about destruction, it's about the transformation that you get from that release. And not forgetting, but releasing the weight of what you're actually carrying and what I can't change. So the release of things that have gone in the past that I can let go, because the longer they stay within, the longer I'm sat mulling it over and over and over again. So writing it out and a flame, setting it alight is the ritual that I'm talking about. I mean, obviously, don't set fire in your bedroom. You know, be safe about it. And yeah, watch, breathe, and feel that release inside. Imagine you feeling lighter as that smoke goes away from the paper that you've written on. Fire also reminds me that everything moves in cycles: creation, release, renewal. It mirrors our inner process. So if we think about the grief turning to acceptance and endings leading into beginnings, finding meaning is huge. And when we honour that rhythm, which links back to sort of Marbella and sitting with the rhythm of the sea comes in, the sea goes out, the sea comes in, the sea goes out. We are actually honouring our healing. So all the work that we're doing is compounded by the simplest of little actions that we do. The feeling of that fire, the feeling of the power of the fire, and knowing that you can release into that fire. So this week, allow yourself to make space for some kind of release, whatever feels good for you. Doesn't have to involve fire. It could be a long walk. It could be a real belly cry and a deep crying and release. It can be a quiet meditation. There is a whole range of different things that I've talked about in the last season that you could do to just think about releasing that one thing that keeps coming up, that little whisper that's still there somewhere going on in your mind. And it's all about the intention behind it. It doesn't matter how small the ritual is. It could be as simple as lighting the candle, watching the flame, and writing as the candle's there. You might just want to rip it into little pieces and put it in the bin. Everybody's different. But just give yourself permission to do that, to do some form of release. And I want to remind you that release doesn't mean weakness. It is probably, and it took me a while to realize it, one of the bravest acts of self-trust, the belief in yourself to actually be able to release something that has been holding you back. And each time you choose to let go of something, you're creating more space for things to come in. So as you decide to release something, think about what you're going to replace that with, so we can move forward. So as we close today, when you're off to your bonfires, whenever it may be, some of you may already have done your bonfire firework display, whatever, the 5th of November. I just want you to picture a small glowing light in front of you. Steady, it's kind, it's constant. And let that flame remind you that within every ending, something new begins to flicker. I think I've probably thrown a lot at you today, and I hope it all makes sense. I'm always here for you in whatever shape or form. Messages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and thank you for sharing this moment with me this week. Remember the 5th of November. We shared some amazing nights on the 5th of November or whenever bonfire night occurred. So yeah, happy days, happy memories, and think about that one thing that you're going to release this week. So until next time, may your fire burn gently and may your heart feel lighter. Thank you for joining me on the Journey with Janey podcast. It's always a pleasure to be with you on a Wednesday or whenever you are downloading and listening to the Journey with Janey podcast. All I ask is that you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And also remember, there are ways of contacting me through my website on www.journeywithjaney.com. There's a contact button to book a call, which is a free 15-minute call, and all the details of the ways to work with me are on my website. I'm always available for a chat, a DM, or just a message via LinkedIn or Instagram. We all have the social handles now. Just drop me a message and let's talk. And remember, we don't have to do this alone, which is exactly why I am here to help guide you on this journey. I am the me that I needed 3 years ago, and I hope and feel that I can help you on your journey of moving forward by taking small, simple steps. So from me to you, take care.